Hey, welcome back to Progressive Plan. This is going to be Progressive Plan Inc.'s quick tip number 5. And before we get started on quick tip number 5, let's just review some of the stuff we talked about. We talked about how turnaround is a continuous, never-ending process. We talked about that's so important that we're going to keep it as a permanent part of our studio decor. We talked about how 80% or so of the actual work of a turnaround, when you really get down and look at it, is actually routine maintenance. Might be infrequent, might be super difficult, might be super expensive, but it's actually routine maintenance. We talked about the importance of a premise document and holding your turnaround to just the work that needs to be done and how you can use a premise document to help you do that. We then went on and talked about charter documents, chartering your strategy team, chartering your steering team, getting sign-off from responsible and accountable leadership and management such that we can enforce our turnaround premise and we can enforce our turnaround process. By now, it's not lost on anybody, I'm sure, that this is all starting to sound pretty complex and complicated. And if I add to that a typical turnaround process will have 400 to 600 individual activities leading up to, a whole gauntlet of major milestones that have to be accomplished, it is very, very difficult. And here's the thing that I want to bring up. Prerequisites for success. Training. Let's go back. When you were in grade 7 and you really wanted to be with the bigger kids in grade 8, you had to actually successfully complete grade 7 before you would be allowed to begin the learning of the grade 8 class. This is because they're not going to repeat that background. In order for grade 8 to be a success for you, you have to have completed grade 7. Same thing when you got older in life. In order to be accepted into trade school, you typically need to have your grade 12 background. This is because trade school is not going to be accountable for teaching you basic language skills and basic mathematics and arithmetic skills. So that's why you have that prerequisite. So ask yourself this. Turnarounds being recognized as hugely complex and hugely expensive as they are, why is it so typical for a facility to just pull together a bunch of people and toss them out there and say, complete this turnaround, and then come back and be all judgmental about the way they completed the turnaround? I would suggest that we should be giving prerequisite training to people. Now, one of the things I personally don't like is when people get up in front of people and talk about do this, do that, and they don't offer any solutions. So just step aside here. Progressive Plan, we do offer one solution to this. I'm not saying it's the only solution. But our Practical Management for Plant Turnarounds course is a 3-day course that is intended not just for the turnaround manager and the lead turnaround planner. It is intended even more so for all the people that are going to be seconded into the turnaround core team. Because the majority of the people that are seconded into a given core team, turnaround professional is not how they would have seen themselves previous to this. This is the prerequisite for becoming a turnaround professional. There may be others out there. I'm just saying we have this to offer. Before I go very much further, I also got to recognize some of you out there will recognize this work. Some of you have already been exposed to this work. This is, of course, John A. McClay's work. We have it now because, well, every member of the Progressive team was mentored by John. The 2 co-founding members of the Progressive Plan team were in a formal mentorship with John in the final years of John's life. And it is our privilege and our honor to have been chosen by the estate to carry this absolutely critical work forward. So we are able to offer this to our clients to prepare them with the prerequisite knowledge that leads to turnaround success. This is generational knowledge, like we talk about. And generational knowledge is exactly what leads to execution excellence. So have a nice day, and thank you for joining me, and please check back next week.